Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from AnthonysCustoms, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Thor pack, female Thor, or Jane Foster Thor, or the Mighty Thor, whatever you want to call it. And this is almost identical to the figure that released in the Ragnarok wave. It's basically just a different color scheme with a translucent hammer. Almost identical, so it does suffer from a lot of the same problems. It does look a little bit better, I think. But again, it's just kind of weird. So let's go ahead and take it off the stand and have a closer look. So just for a real quick comparison before we even get to the height measurement, you'll see it is the exact same thing, just with different colors. The silver's about the same. Her skirt thingy is green instead of brown, and that's about it. Her hair's a little more saturated. The eyes are blue instead of silver. But most of the changes are negligible. It's almost the same. So if you really don't want to track this one down, even though I think it looks slightly better, this is the way to go for sure. It's going to be cheaper. I do like the skirt coloring on this one better, but the cape is a little more saturated and the blue eyes look a little bit better, I think. Honestly, it's going to be completely up to you, personal opinion-wise. And then you have the two different hammers. We have the translucent one, which I think is kind of silly. It shouldn't be translucent, right? Shouldn't it just be glowing? But it's translucent blue, which looks pretty weird. So I don't know. And the cape's falling off again. So let's do a height measurement. She stands about 6 3/8 inches tall, which makes her just about 16 centimeters, give or take. And that's counting the top of her helmet. So yeah, this figure, it's still just as awkward, and I figured out what it was. Her hips are huge, especially compared or added to the skirt piece. Her hips are humongous in relation to the rest of her upper body. Like, the whole upper body is tiny, very, very tiny. And I know women are generally have wider hips than they do their shoulders. I get that. It's way big, way big. Like, her thigh area is as big as her abdomen. It's just very strange. I know they used this part before, and it's just a weird combination, and that's what makes it look weird. And then the super bulky skirt makes it look even weirder. Add that to the really odd choice to just do a paint job for this part in here, and it's very awkward. Don't care for it. I do really like the brighter yellow for the hair and the blue for the eyes, but it's still a very awkward figure, and the cape doesn't stay on very well either. Alright, let's run the articulation real quick. I'm just not thrilled with this. Definitely go for the standard release if this thing costs a lot, because it's not... You'll see. Maybe you won't. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below what you think, but for me, it's just awkward and weird, and I'm not particularly thrilled with it. Okay, so the head leans back just fine. It leans forward just fine. The hair doesn't really get in the way of anything because it sits completely off the shoulders. And that's better with the cape on, but it would have been better if it was sculpted down so that it just flexed onto the cape rather than sitting up on its own. It's very weird like that. The shoulders, you get pretty good range. Better than horizontal, so that's all right. Full rotation. Bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, just about 90 degrees. You do get extra rotation in there if you want it. This, by the way, is the best part of the whole figure. It's painted very nicely. Very, very nice. Good sculpt work, too. And then for the wrists, we have a swivel and a hinge, but the hinge doesn't work on this side because the forearm piece blocks it, but it technically does still work. Diaphragm joint works really well. Love that. I really like that. That's very nicely done. This is just a floating piece, but it's still very thick and bulky, so it gets in the way of the legs. They don't go too far out to the side. You can get them going pretty far forward, so that's good. Thigh swivel works just fine. Double jointed knee works just fine, and the ankle, which has this floating piece which makes her ankles look super fat. You have pretty good range going back, pretty good range going forward, and an ankle rocker which works just fine. So I think what it is, it's the combination of the really fat ankles, very, very fat ankles, very wide hips, and then the hair that doesn't really hang properly. It's just very strange looking figure, and I don't love it. I think some people might, because it does do a lot of individual things well. So I mean, you guys have the information now. If you think it looks good, go get one, and you'll like it. If you don't like the way it looks, then don't, because now you know how it looks. So there it is. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, and all kinds of other fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and in the meantime, keep collecting.